Aries, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your December energy forecast. So, of course, coming into December, we are very much in Sag season, a fire sister energy for you. So you might be feeling the spark, might be feeling that little bit of passion, that little bit of desire get reignited within you. However, we do have some other sticky aspects and planetary positions that may be hard in really redefining what it is that you are wanting to do, where it is you should be pouring your time, your energy, your attention, and of course, the long-term goals that you're looking to set for yourself. We will have a sudden shift in your energy, in your attitude with Jupiter re-entering into your sign here mid-month. But until then, we do have to navigate some ups and downs before we actually get you on the right path, on the right direction. So on December 3rd, we have Neptune moving direct in Pisces energy. Now, Neptune rules over our soul self, our intuition, our dreams, our creativity. And having been retrograde for the past 5 months, we've definitely had a little bit of a bitch slap of reality. We've had those rose-colored glasses slapped off of our face. We had to deal with life as it was and not the way that we desired it to be. And things got ugly. Many of us, of course, deep in the spiritual life lessons, deep in the upgrades of who it is that we are and what it is that we desire for ourselves. And now that Neptune is going to go direct, we will feel renewed in our faith, in our trust in ourselves, in the cosmos. We will realign with our dreams, maybe even breathing new life into old projects. We will be able to kind of allow our creativity to flow in a brand new way. And we will be able to really be inspired out in the world again, focusing on the beauty, the silver linings of life instead of the ugliness that we've sat in for the past 5 months. This particular energy is going to be in this 12th house that Neptune and Pisces naturally rules over. This is soul contracts. This is hidden realm of emotions, of thoughts, of memories. This is dreams, creativity, intuition. And because of this, there is likely going to be some beautiful epiphanies enter into the realm of your awareness, some beautiful ideas that are really going to kind of spark a brand new interest, a brand new perspective for you to kind of pursue. And I feel like for my Aries friends, this is a preparation, if you will, of kind of receiving that green light, go ahead to take action and make things happen that, of course, Jupiter will 100% trigger later on in the month. On the 6th, we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, ruler of communication, moving out of that Sag energy, which is pretty scatterbrained, pretty unfocused. Yeah, it gave us some big ideas and probably put us in some very interesting conversations. However, we haven't really been able to do much with it. Moving into the Capricorn energy, we're going to get grounded out, if you will. We're going to be able to kind of sort through those ideas, those dreams, those details in a much more methodical and orderly, practical, logical process. We are going to cut away the bullshit. We are going to focus in on our to-do list, cleaning up the loose ends of the past in order for us to have a clean slate to build upon as we piece together our futuristic wants, needs, and desires. Now, Capricorn energy is the manifesting energy of the Zodiac, and Mercury ruling over our thoughts and our words does bring a very powerful energy for us to manifest. So we do have to be very, very careful with what it is that we focus on, what it is that we allow to leave our mouth. We still will be in Sag season, which typically speaking doesn't have very good filter. But Mercury moving into Capricorn energy, especially being illuminated in this 10th house for you. And just a heads up, all this Capricorn energy this month will be moving into this 10th house. A rundown on what this 10th house is. It's your career. It's your reputation. It's your karma. It's new roles and responsibilities, new power, new control, new authority in your life. It's also finances, stabilizing that, upgrading them. And we're looking for safety and security. And Mercury in Capricorn is definitely going to put us in a situation where we're thinking long term about what that may means, what we want to create out of that, the conversations that need to be had in order to produce that type of understanding moving forward with the people that need to be involved in that. And overall, we're we're going to kind of just run down what needs to be done, what needs to happen. And because Capricorn energy is an earth energy, it may be very low and slow, but that is how we win the race. So on December 7th, we have the full moon in Gemini taking place at 16 degrees. Now, the full moon is a full illumination, bringing something full circle. And in order to figure out what that is, we have to go back to May and June of this year, especially where choices are concerned, because Gemini energy rules over division, polarization, duality. It's represented by the twins. So we're very much in a debate. There's pros and cons. There's highs and lows. We're trying to find the middle ground. And because we're bringing things full circle, we likely have a lot to say about it. Gemini energy rules over communication as well. And disclaimer, Mars, your ruler, who is retrograde in Gemini, will also be sitting at 16 degrees. A full-on team up with this full moon in Gemini. And you best believe that this is creating a little bit of a volatile space for us to speak our truth, for us to kind of get in confrontations, debates, be a little bit aggressive with our thoughts, with our words. We do have to watch out that we're not intentionally projecting our thoughts and feelings outside of ourselves to intentionally hurt others. But essentially, we've been biting our tongues for a very long time, and we have a new truth that needs to be spoken. We have a lot of resentment, a lot of anxiety, a lot of restlessness that's building up to this boiling point, and will kind of reach this boiling point and be spewed out. So we do want to be aware of this. We want to have as much control over this as possible. This full moon in Gemini and, teaming up with Mars is going to be in this third house of the mental plane for you, of information, of details, and of communication for you. We have to understand that the sun is sitting over in the Sag energy, and the Sag and Gemini energy axis is about the new information that comes in, the way that we perceive this information, the way that it changes our minds, changes our truth, and essentially changes our beliefs. And because we've been kind of harboring and holding a lot in, it is time under this full moon for a full moon release, kind of cleaning the slate, getting this not so nice fire and fuel outside of our bodies so that we can make a mess, clean it up, and enter into a brand new year with this clean slate. On December 9th, we have Venus moving into Capricorn energy. So she's all about love. She's all about money. She's all about new worth and new values. And in Capricorn energy, she's getting down to earth on what it is that means the most to her, who it is that actually deserves her time, her energy, her love, her attention. She's focused on skills and talents that she may be sleeping on, that she could bust out in order to increase and stabilize that financial situation. But nonetheless, in Capricorn energy, she is looking at the long term. What does she want to create? What does she want to give birth to? What does she want to bring to life? And again, this Capricorn energy is triggering your 10th house of career and reputation and new roles and responsibilities and the money that comes in with that level up, with that upgrade. Now, Venus, of course, she is going through a little bit of a reflective time because this time last year she moved into Capricorn energy, but she was retrograding in Capricorn energy. And we went through a little bit of a pain, a struggle in our relationship dynamics, in our own self-worth. Of course, we danced with the devil, Pluto, as we ushered in 2022. And of course, we dug ourselves out of that dark hole and we had a little bit of a triumphant celebratory empowerment story. So although she wants to be a little bit nostalgic over this past year, just to kind of gain perspective on all that she's been able to kind of heal and rectify and create in her life, all of this reflection and nostalgia is just helping her fuel her inner fire to, keep up the good work, to keep up those boundaries, to keep pushing the pavement, if you will, in creating a new foundation for her to build her life upon, especially where her career, finances, and those that she's taking with her in this futuristic reality, making sure that all of that is safe and secure and stable so that she doesn't have to worry about being derailed by any of those particular aspects. So on the 20th is when things are going to shift big time for you. This is because Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, blessings, rewards, abundance, is moving back into Aries energy, of course, illuminating your first house of self. So let's rewind back to May when Jupiter first entered into Aries energy. We were looking to cut the cords with the past, looking to heal, looking to jump into a brand new chapter, looking to grow, looking to initiate, be adventurous, maybe even bring new opportunities for enterprise, for entrepreneurship to the forefront. Whatever it is that we were doing, we were trying to build a brand new identity for ourselves. And we didn't get too much time to do that. Things didn't go the way that we had planned because Jupiter didn't spend too much time in Aries energy before going retrograde. Of course, once retrograde, we had to go back all the way to the start of this Aries energy. And then Jupiter actually crept back into Pisces energy. We just had Jupiter go direct in Pisces energy on the new moon in Sag towards the end of November. And now that Jupiter is re-entering into Aries, this is like you coming out of the depths of the darkness again. This is you kind of figuring out over this past year what worked, what didn't, and now you're running with what did work and you're looking to bring new aspects of yourself to life. I want you to be a little bit cautious with your physical diet, with your physical weight though. Anytime Jupiter enters into the first house of self, we tend to pack on a little bit of water weight, a little bit of extra weight around our waistlines. We can grow, we can expand, right? The best thing about this energy is that there's a new belief system, a new trust, a new faith, a new tenacity within yourself. And because we've gone through some very tough love life lessons over the past couple of months, this has essentially triggered a brand new strength, a brand new resiliency, a brand new perseverance in you that you didn't have this time back in the spring when Jupiter first entered into your sign. I think this is going to be a powerful redo for you. I think you're going to make up for lost time, see a lot of growth, really push the boundaries of your comfort zone. I think you're going to be able to close the door with a lot of the pain, a lot of the trauma that you've been sitting in for the past 2 years. I feel like the sense of self is kind of emerging out in a more powerful way than it ever has thus far. And I think that you're going to be super, super pleased, powerful, prosperous, and positive moving into this brand new 2023 year. So the very next day, on the 21st, we have the sun moving out of Sag season and moving into Capricorn season. And of course, this triggers our winter solstice. Now, the winter solstice is essentially us moving into the very last chapter, the last quarter of this astrological calendar. And you would know this very well because this means that you're moving into your dark season. It is going to be a brand new year when Aries season begins. That's when the astrological and energetic calendar kicks off. But the months between the solstice and that brand new energetic calendar being initiated are ones where we are reflective, where we're introverted, where we're sorting out what worked for us, what didn't, where we're being nostalgic, reviewing this past year, picking out the silver linings, kind of, tossing to the side what we've outgrown, what is no longer working for us. And, with the sun shining a bright light in Capricorn energy, which is asking you to think long term for new goals, new ambitions that you have, new foundations, systems, routines that need to be built in order to actually get you there. Of course, the Capricorn energy is highlighting the 10th house. So many of my Aries friends are reconsidering what it is that they want to do for work, what it is that they want to do to make money, where it is that they're being asked to boss up to take, maybe a new business under their wing. Whatever the case, there is this new reputation that is coming hand in hand with this new identity. And with the sun shining a bright light on what it is that you want for yourself long term, please take the time out of this busy holiday season to very much focus on what it is that you want to create for yourself. As Capricorn energy is the true manifester of the zodiac and is giving you a beautiful opportunity to get down to the nitty gritty on what it is that you want to experience, what it is that you want to create in your life where career and money matters are concerned. So on the 23rd, we have the new moon taking place in Capricorn energy at 1 degree. We just had the new moon in Sag take place at 1 degree. So having this particular new moon at 1 degree does suggest that we're moving into a clean slate of karma. We are setting the tone for what it is that we want to experience over this next year. Actually 2 years, but next year for sure. And again, this is in the 10th house for you. So I know 23rd is smack dab right before the holiday season, pretty much in it for many people. And it can be a little bit crazy, but if you do not carve out the time to sit down and focus on your long-term goals and what it is that you want to bring to life and create, especially where your career opportunities go, you are doing yourself a very strong disservice. We also have Chiron, the wounded healer, going direct in your sign on the 23rd, which means that we are going to be actively putting into our external realms some of the tough love life lessons that we've had to learn, some of the healing work that we've already done. We get to reemerge as our brand new sense of self. If you haven't noticed, this is a topic and a theme for you, reemerging as a different version of yourself, feeling more positive and optimistic on what it is that you're willing to create. And of course, having plenty of opportunities to create a brand new foundation of reputation, career, karma, and finances as we move into the 2023 year. So the last thing we got going on this month is on the 29th, and that is when Mercury is going to go retrograde in Capricorn. Yep, we're starting a brand new year with Mercury being in a retrograde, which some people will cringe about, but I actually think it's a good thing, especially in Capricorn energy. We're nostalgic. We need to look back over the pain and the struggles of this past year in order to pluck out the silver linings and the life lessons. We have to get very real with what it is that, pretty much got damaged and destroyed and in some cases died, in order to clean the slate for us to rebuild something better in its place. And because Capricorn energy is long-term, because it's karma, because it's about finances, because it's about the masculine father figure, we will have a lot of mush, a lot of memories, a lot of not so nice thoughts come up for us while Mercury is pushing us to review, to revise, to re-edit, to realign, to reflect, and of course, putting us in a beautiful position moving into 2023, where Mercury and Mars will both be going direct in a very close window of time, which means we will have the time to get very clear on the calculated strategy that we need to kind of pursue. And Mars will give us the physical energy, the drive, the passion, the motivation, the determination in order to bring some of those ideas, some of those steps to life. So again, this is in the 10th house. There might be a reflection, a review, a revision of your career life, of the roles and responsibilities of what it is that you've outgrown, of what it is that you now desire to pursue. And a lot of this has to do with the safety, the security, the stability that was either shook up and ripped away from you over this past year, leaving a little bit of a shaky foundation for you to build upon, or putting you in a position to think what it is that isn't working for you, isn't providing you the safety, the security, the stability that you're craving. And of course, from that, creating a framework on what it is that you want to manifest and usher in as we move into 2023. A little bit of a bonus astro event for you. Also on the 29th, we have the first quarter moon taking place at 8 degrees in Aries. This is going to be a time of action, a time of passion, a time of new desires, new ideas being illuminated, new life force energy kind of taking over and really aligning you with a new sense of empowerment. And because you are kind of getting this redo that didn't work so well back in the spring, I would say that this is a perfect energy for really setting you up to be very productive, very passionate, very successful, very prosperous as you enter into 2023. So a couple of messages that I would like to leave you with for you to focus on throughout the month. The very first thing that they're bringing is a celebratory energy of fire. Of course, you are fire. Sag season is fire. We have reached the precipice, the completion point, if you will, of wrapping up some life chapters and really giving ourselves credit where credit is due. It hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of struggle. There's been a lot of pain. There's been a lot of trauma, but we've overcome it and we've learned a new realm of strength and perseverance and personality, really. We would never have learned about ourselves without these pains, without these struggles. And I think it's a very important time reflecting back over this past year and preparing to jump into a new one for us to give ourselves a little bit of a celebratory I'm going to say, attitude of gratitude and credit. I do think that for the most part, you're going to have a huge shift in perspective, a huge shift in ideas, a huge shift in your mental narrative as we move forward, especially when Mercury moves into Capricorn. I think that's really going to help you hone in, focus in on what it is that you want to create for yourself as far as, new foundations go, especially relating to your career, to your finances at that time. This is about teamwork, though. I feel like many of my Aries friends likes to do things solo. You all are very, lone wolf type of people, but there's been a lot of life lessons over this past year that I think you could agree with, that it is important to have a support system. It is important to have a team. It is important to align with like-minded people. And I think this next phase of my Aries friends kind of moving into new chapters is going to involve allowing a little bit more interaction from the tried, tested, and true people that you've deemed worthy and in alignment with your energy to kind of help you out with some of the projects, some of the goals, some of the ambitions that you're now realizing that you want to set for yourself as we move into the new year. The last thing that I'd like to bring to your attention is the amount of change, the amount of transformation that you've had to go through over this past year, and the amount of strength that in placement of power that it has pushed you in. Especially with a lot of the spiritual life lessons, Jupiter and Neptune, those heavy hitting planets being in that Pisces energy and that 12th house for you. That was like tough love life lessons, spiritual life lessons that essentially shape and alter who it is that we are moving forward. And although we've had to go through some pain and trauma and suffering, I think that you could agree that we're all better off for it. We didn't realize the power and the strength that we had. We didn't realize that we could even deal with some of the circumstances that were thrown at us until we had no choice but to be knees deep in it all. And I think out of all of it, it has really given you a new refined sense of pride within yourself, resiliency, strength, character. And I think that you are kind of taking those experiences and allowing them to shape you into the newest version of yourself that will definitely be taking the spotlight in a very important way as we move into 2023. So that's all that I have for you this month, Aries. I want to thank you for your continued love and support. I wish you the happiest of holidays, and I hope that 2023 is getting off to a great start for you. I'm sending you nothing but love, and we'll talk to you soon.